Hey everybody, this is Jen Coombs from Time to Change Jersey Style. I want to say good evening to everybody. It's a happy Tuesday. Sorry for the false start about like 10 minutes ago. Um, actually, oh man, I have to clean this off, everybody. Sorry. That's better. Sorry about that, everybody. That's much better. So I'm gonna wait until some more people to jump on. Tonight's topic is, hold on. Maybe someday I'll get this down pat. Okay, it's another random live stream episode 32. The topic is Hunterdon County, New Jersey Superior Court Session Impressions. Just to let everybody know, I had court yesterday regarding my PTI. Just to let everybody know that got bumped until or adjourned until next year. So there. I'm not talking about Millstone right now, and just to let you know, there wasn't a plea deal in Millstone. That is still being worked through the system, along with Old Bridge. Well, anyway, going back to Hunterdon, that that got bumped down, that got adjourned until next year, January of next year. So, and but the last court hearing that I was there for, I actually because I'm a citizen media, and there's certain things that I'm allowed to do, but I have to get the proper permission and or do the proper paperwork to do the permission. So now, like whenever up in Huntington County, like with their court system, I'm allowed to take notes for journalistic purposes. So that's what I did. So after I was done, like with my court case, because my court case was only like a 2 to 3 minute deal, so it was like because it got adjourned until next year. So so I took the time to take notes of my of like of like like on all the cases except for two cases, because the two cases went got bumped after after lunch. So I didn't wait for the last two cases. Um, I took like very basic notes because whoever in court, you don't really say much like all the details of the case. I mean, and if you want like more details, you actually have to go and go to the you gotta actually do Oprah stuff and like research the different cases out and everything else. And I don't have time to do that. So I'm just giving you just my impressions of what happened that day. So, and I'm gonna be calling somebody because somebody helped me out. Um, somebody help me out, like with my notes that day. No, 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 no. What? Hold on, everybody. No. See, I should do this on more on a continuing basis. Okay. I just don't get. I use this phone all the time. And I still don't get it. Okay. Please bear with me, everybody. Hey, are you ready? Okay. So everybody, I want to welcome Cindy to tonight's live stream because she is the one who helped me with my notes that I took on Monday, and she was very helpful with my notes and everything else. She asked different questions and everything else. And like I said, if you ever want to use your iPad to take notes for journalistic purposes, you have to request permission, written permission to do all that, and that's what I did. And it was an awesome experience. And I'm thinking about doing it in Monmouth County to take notes and everything else because by looking at the by me just sitting in the gallery and just taking notes of different things and just your eyes are much more open to like what's really happening within the courts and everything else. Hey Cindy, welcome.
Hey Jen, how are you doing? Good. Hi everybody. Hi Hiram.
So, what's your initial impressions with the notes that I took for journalistic purposes?
Well, I just was just really surprised at the speed of which they determine people's future. It surprises me how much negotiating between the prosecutor and the lawyers goes on behind closed doors before a judge is ever even seen. I think that people who aren't aware of their rights are just victims of other people's negotiations. They're really not. There's just not a really good understanding of how the court really works. And I think if people would just go sit a day, not even in a courtroom, but in a waiting area for a courtroom to watch the lawyers, the public defenders, just come out with a stack of folders, calling people's names one by one to go negotiate with their lives. Meeting them for the first time, expecting you to make decisions in a split second so that they can do their wheeling and dealing. And there's sometimes you don't even see a court. You don't even see a judge. The papers are all signed and presented to the judge. You're just told it's all taken care of. Be on your way. And I just think that the business of our justice system needs to be dissected.
And like when I was taking these notes, it was very brief notes. Like I said, it didn't really go into the details of the case. So I was trying to do as best as I can to put down with what they were saying. So
I think we counted between 15 and 18 cases resolved or adjudicated in a matter of a half hour. The speed at which they were putting these cases through is just really scary.
and there were several bench warrants put out too because people did not show up. But I
Any
do,
bench warrant,
yeah,
any.
but I have to give the judge credit because she did wait like a few hours into the court session, or a couple of hours, or 2 3 hours into the court session to issue these bench warrants. So I will give the judge credit in that aspect.
But again, that's up to a judge's discretion. Whether they wait till the afternoon session, whether they issue a warrant on the spot. Your name's called, you're not here, that's it. There's a warrant out for you. You know, there's an awful lot of gray area there. What if somebody's got a flat tire? You know, what if somebody does have a legitimate excuse? Not everybody is absconding from court or from their bail. There has to be some leniency there for emergency.
Hey Cindy, but in this aspect, I think the judge was was willing to look at the different things like
I
that.
understand, and that sounds like a reasonable judge. We've also seen people that are held in contempt of court for not being in a courtroom at that split second. So
Correct.
we know that again, it's like any police stop. The officer can use his discretion in whether or not he tickets that infraction that he stopped you for. The judge is the same way, and in a ticket, you have the option to go to court to fight it. When you're dealing with the judge, that's the final decision. You don't get a fight.
Wait, there is you can appeal the decision, but that takes time and money and everything else.
Well, that warrant is still out for you, and if you get stopped while you're on that warrant and you get thrown in jail, how are you going to vindicate yourself sitting in jail? It all becomes just a snowballing effect. One mistake by the courts can just snowball into destroying your life. You've seen you've seen it yourself firsthand, the inaccurate information that they put in the computer on you.
Twice already.
Right. So, I mean, people's lives are at stake here. If it's a misprint on a ticket, the wrong license plate number, that can all be figured out in court. But once that judge makes that decision, you could be out on the road having a flat tire, and you can't get through to your lawyer to let them know, and you've got a warrant out for you. And if obviously it's not going to be in the computer that fast, but the next time, you're driving around, you get a warrant, even if you were to go to court that day. Even if you were to fix your flat tire and go to court, technically you could still be thrown in jail for a warrant. You're sitting there trying to explain your reasoning why you're not there, and they're more worried about throwing you in jail because you weren't there. And those are just, that's the human side of the court. Or should be the human side of court. It shouldn't just be a rubber stamp like we were listening to the other day, where within 3 minutes, literally 3 minutes, the people stand there. They don't say a word. Other people discuss and, feelings or to emotions, aren't allowed to come into it. Everybody's got a story.
And I noticed there was a lot of drug addiction too.
A lot of what?
Addiction related issues too.
Yes, that's a very serious, and I'm glad to see that these courts are starting to recognize these drug diversion programs, because putting a drug addict in jail does nothing but cost the state money to monitor them during their withdrawal, if they get the dignity of having somebody monitor them while they're withdrawing and not just left to suffer in a cell. It's inhumane. If you have a drug addict, you just can't throw them in a cage and expect them to get over it and correct your behavior. And when we let you out, you'll be fixed. That with these drug diversion programs, at least, even if you have 50% compliance, that's more compliance than you're probably going to get of these people going to jail and coming out. So that's where our money needs to be sent, is on helping these people, not caging them.
My issue is my impression. It's not really an issue. My impression is that if you know anything about drug addiction or drug addiction recovery, there's always going to be relapses or some sort of relapses along the way. But when you get the court involved and you have a relapse, there's like severe penalties.
Right.
And to me, that's ridiculous. But
Right.
but any like treatment provider will say there's always going to be relapses along the way. So it's like so you got to penalize the person 10 times because they had a relapse because of this relapse they couldn't follow some stuff. But it's the matter of them getting back on the horse, meaning the recovery path. That's what counts.
Well, unfortunately, in this country, instead of treating addiction medically, we choose to treat it like instead of putting people in a hospital, we'd rather put them in a jail. Instead of getting them help in a hospital, we'd rather pay money to pay $60,000 a year to put them in jail.
Yeah, but some drug addicts are not ready for the help. Is not ready for the help too. So you gotta look at it as that too.
Well, do like some countries. 3 strikes, you're out. You get the option to get clean, to get your help. You get three times to do it. After that, you pay the consequences. If it means life in prison, it means life in prison.
I know in the state of New Jersey,
That's just for drug addiction. That's not for violent crimes. Not the 3 strikes out like I'm talking about that they use against criminals for small offenses. I'm talking about if you're a drug addict and you want help, you can go to a medical facility and you have 3 chances to follow through. If you cannot follow through after 3 chances, then you're released from you will no longer get the help or support, and now you deal with the legal system for whatever your problems are.
See, I can, I like that. I like that. It's a nice compromise right there.
Everybody has, you can't just throw somebody in jail without, that's why these drug diversion programs are good. It gives people the opportunity to be on the outside and deal with society, the same society they're going to have to deal with when they get out of jail. They have to be out there in the environment, but they have to have monitors on them. They have to have the testing. And so that lets them reacclimate themselves into the world they're going to be living in and training themselves that they can't do these drugs. They have to fight their urges, or they're going back to jail. I don't care if you put them on, they have monitors for alcohol use. They can put a monitor on your ankle that can detect any amount of alcohol in your system. They should be able to do the same for drug use. And if that's what it takes, but these people have to be out in society working to get better, not sitting in a cell costing us taxpayers money.
I know in some counties within the state of New Jersey, like when it comes to courts, they actually have a veterans diversion program too. But I know it's not available in all counties though.
And I think the veterans deserve extra attention. I just had a friend of mine, a Vietnam veteran, who was affected by Agent Orange, was getting getting dialysis 3 times a week, and then found out he had cancer. This man was so hopeless getting any help that he turned to the drug that he enjoyed when he was in Vietnam, and that's when he first got hooked on heroin. And this man was using heroin and died because he didn't have heroin, died sucking on a fentanyl patch to get his last high. And this was just a year ago. So there are still veterans suffering every single day, and they deserve priority treatment, in my opinion.
And I gotta be honest, I think there should be. I didn't discuss this with Cindy, but I think there should be a diversion program for police too. So.
Well, doctors have diversion programs. Do you know the rate of doctors and nurses? Nobody ever talks about this. The doctors and nurses that get hooked on prescription drugs, just because they're available, think of the schedules that doctors and nurses have to keep. I know it's not a rare occurrence. It's not public because it's their private lives. So that kind of information is never made public. If you're a doctor or a professional and you have an addiction, it's all kept quiet. Your insurance pays for a nice little 30-day rehab someplace where you can just go and work with the best of the best people that are going to help you deal with your addiction. It's not available to the guy on the street. He's a criminal. His name's going to be plastered all over the newspaper. He's going to have a label on him. Half of the doctors in your hospital could have gone through rehab and you wouldn't even know it.
Hey Cindy, I know we haven't really talked about this one case, but the one case with the dementia defendant.
The one yesterday in the courtroom?
Yes.
Well, to me, that's no different than what they're doing at the border. Letting these kids, 6-year-old kids, represent themselves in court and signing their rights away or whatever they're having them do. Yeah, there was a man with dementia in there. I mean, what are they going to do with this man? He can't make decisions for himself. They'll put him in a state home somewhere, and he'll linger till the day he dies. That's what our system has to offer to him.
Yeah, this guy was at least 70. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just estimating. This guy was at least like 75, 80 years old, and he got diagnosed with dementia, and he was pretty much declared incompetent. And
wasn't his charge some type of an assault?
Yes, there was weapons, terroristic threats, unlawful use of a weapon, and
so here you have a man who is.
There was a shotgun. Hold on, there was a shotgun involved too. Okay, go, Cindy.
Well, I was just going to point out that an 85-year-old man, probably has a lot of thought. How much physical strength, if there's a loaded shotgun involved, yes, it doesn't take much strength to pull a trigger. To hold a loaded shotgun, yeah, it takes a little bit of arm strength. This man was feeble. They didn't have him in appropriate court attire. They looked like they walked him out of a hospital and walked him in front of a judge and made decisions for him and were going to put him away. Am I correct?
Well, the attire, the what do you call it? The clothes attire was okay. I mean, that's standard. So,
What?
but my thing is that how how can a person with dementia get access to a shotgun of all things, especially in the state of New Jersey? I mean, I don't. I wish I knew the background, the backstory of this one case,
Well,
because it's like I want to connect. I want to do. See, I'm a domino effect person. I like to look back and like what.
well, do a public interest story on him. Find out who he is. Find out what his background is. Find out why the state is the only one who can dictate. Has he lost all his family? You know, does he have? Some of these people have $1 million in a bank account and they have dementia, and there's help available for them, but they don't even know it.
His son was in court, and it from testimony like within the court or within the court. They do. The family does want to get guardianship of this man. So whatever that, they would like to get guardianship of this man. So
Yeah, but right now he's a criminal, isn't he?
actually no, because I think the charges was eventually I think dismissed because he was deemed incompetent.
Okay, and then if he gets a family member to take over his guardianship, then that would be able to keep him out of a state home.
I think eventually, I'm not too sure how the whole thing works,
They
because
hold him for a psych eval?
yes, he got civilly committed to the Incline State Hospital
Right,
down in
right, right. And then the family will petition the court for guardianship to get him out.
over. See, I don't know how that works, so I'm like, I don't want to
Well,
say.
the way it usually works is the money. If the hospital is getting money for him to be there, they're going to fight to keep him there when the family goes to get guardianship. That's usually how that works.
But I would like to. And this guy was in handcuffs. And his handcuffs was in the front. But I was thinking, how does this guy pose any danger at all? I'm like,
Well, he obviously does, Jen, if he was able to get hold of a shotgun and make terrorist threats. Whether they were idle threats or not, the weapon changes it.
but the thing is, how did he get access to this shotgun to begin with anyway?
Well, we need to know where if he didn't own one himself, he was in someone's home that had one available.
But and another thing, I brought this up with a friend of mine, and I was thinking like, was this person, this man, was ever diagnosed back prior to all this, or was he in a transition of being or going from bad to worse?
That's my guess, is that he's been in a state of dementia, and this was just a breaking point for him where the law unfortunately got involved. We don't know if the family's been dealing with this for years. And
that's what I mean. It's like,
and that's why I say do a public. You've got your Oprah. Do a public interest story on him.
Because I would love to know the backdrop to the story, because it's like, oh, hear him. From the court testimony, he was civilly committed to Incline.
Right. I remember that name, yeah.
So, and the only reason he's an Incline is because of the 4 charges. That's why.
Right. So those are felony, yeah. Those are felony charges, so.
Yeah.
They're still going to have to handle his legal issues before his family will be able to gain guardianship of him. If the state, like I said, there's money involved. The state might never let him be released. He could be a danger to himself and others, and if they determine that, no, they're not going to allow him to be in the guardianship of anybody but professionals.
Correct. He was to the doctor's testimony over the phone, he was deemed not sa- or what do you call unsafe to himself and other people, and
Right.
that he couldn't take care of himself.
Right, the doctor testified to that by phone in court.
Yes.
So yeah, he was the most interesting case, the saddest case of the day. Like you said, most of them were drug cases or no-shows where it was basically just a revolving door. Look at he split through there.
And to me, and having some 80-year-old dementia patient in an incline facility, I'm like, is that the proper treatment setting for this guy, especially with dementia? I mean, and there, I mean, you have like insane. What do you call it? I don't.
Was he verbal at all, Jen?
No, he didn't say a word. He has no clue what the heck is going on.
And they'll take him to a facility and they'll medicate him, and he'll wither away and die because that's the best we have to offer him.
And I'm like wondering, like, where does his family fits into all this? Except
it doesn't matter where his family is. Once the state's involved, it doesn't matter where the family is. They have to fight the state now. It's out of his hands. He is now in the hands of the state. They will have to fight the state to get guardianship, and they will insist that he's a danger, and they will never get guardianship. That's my opinion, and I would bet on it.
Hiram, you said the Incline Forensic Center in Ewing is an extremely violent place.
Immediately think of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh yeah, he is on a one-on-one too, meaning that there's always somebody with him at all times.
Yes. No, this man does not have a pleasant future. He's not going to be playing bingo in the senior center at the home.
And I'm gonna be honest. If this guy, okay, the original charges took place back in May. And my feeling that if he was in the proper, what do you call it, treatment setting, whatever, proper place, with family or whatever you want to term that, I think these charges would never, this situation would never have happened in the first place.
I disagree, Jen. When some people get dementia, they get violent.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. I can see any dementia.
And family can't count that. Half the time they don't recognize family. They are in a different world. So you can't say that being in the right environment with the right people, with the right family, with balloons and all that is going to fix him, so that he can live out the rest of his life in a pleasant way. We don't know that. What we know is that he has become violent, and he could continue to be violent.
Hey Cindy, I had a family member who had dementia, okay? And basically she lived at home until the day she died, and everything else. And everything was taking all
Was she violent? Was she violent?
Well, all the appropriate stuff was taken care of, so she wouldn't get access to stuff. That's what I'm trying to.
So you literally had to baby-proof the house.
Yes.
And that is what dealing with dementia is. These people are reverting to basically the mentality of an infant. where they have to be monitored 24/7, even to the point of changing them.
Correct. Yes.
So you would not leave a 2-year-old running around the house unaccompanied, and therefore you can't leave a senior with extreme dementia and violent tendencies. Now, ideally in this country, we would do like some of the European countries. What they do with their senior citizens is literally set up a small community with post offices and grocery stores and bicycles and playgrounds and whatever interests they think these people might have. They literally let these people live in this dementia community. They are allowed to wander around as long as they're clothed, and whatever their issues are, as long as they're not hurting another community member, they are allowed to go pretend shopping, to go to the pretend mailbox, to live as normal a life as they choose within that dementia community, under supervision at all times. Ideally, that to me would be a perfect environment for people with dementia. Will we ever see it in this country? I doubt it.
I found a YouTube video for the dementia village you just mentioned. I think they have it in the Netherlands.
I mean, that to me would be an ideal situation to how we deal with our elderly in this country. I mean, we have retirement communities, I understand that, but those are for the wealthy.
The YouTube link that I just put down in the chat, it's about it's about a dementia village. I think it's in the Netherlands. Very educational. It's a very educational video.
This would be. I mean, how heartwarming would it be for the people that work with dementia patients to see these people to be out there and being active in their mental state, to be overseers of their behavior instead of tying them down and medicating them to restrain them because they're just too much to handle in a room or in a nursing home where everything is so regimented and so strict that everybody has to be lights out at this time. Some nursing homes are just as bad as prisons. These people are laying in beds. They don't have any choice. They ring a buzzer. If they get somebody to come and change their diaper, and it's at somebody else's convenience.
Wait, hold on, Cindy. Hiram says something about Taylor's Care. Hiram, what do you mean by Taylor's Care? Because I never heard of that.
I guarantee you, if there is any in this country, they are private care, and they are as expensive as hell. It should be part of our public health system.
I watched that video about dementia's village in that the link that I just put up, and they said it takes the same amount of money to do what they're doing with what we're doing. So there should be no financial issues at the.
We should be having people go into these type of facilities instead of nursing homes where they're confined to a hallway or their biggest excitement of the week is bingo night or something. We don't let old people, continue to live. We just warehouse them.
And I'm gonna be honest, I feel so outraged over this one case.
That's what changes people's lives, Jen. One story, one heart can pull can change somebody's life.
Because to me, if this guy was getting the appropriate care way back in when this happened, this to me, it would never have happened.
That's correct, but that's just not available in this country.
And that's why I want to know what's the backstory of this of the what led up to what led up to this.
How many people do you think are like him that are homeless across this country? How many tens of thousands of people like him are homeless? How many times have you seen a video of a hospital literally wheeling an elderly person out in a wheelchair and dropping them off at the nearest bus stop in their hospital gown?
Skid Row in L.A. They had an issue with that at one point.
Exactly. I mean, this is how we treat our seniors with dementia. If you don't have money or you don't have Medicare or Medicaid, some type of insurance, you're not going to walk into a hospital and get care. There has to be some money backing it up somewhere before you will be seen. And if you're not seen, you end up on the streets and they'll see you in jail because there's money involved there.
I was like so outraged because
you're watching a man's life being taken from him. Literally being taken from him. Being dictated out of his control. He might as well be a 2-year-old kid being said, here, he's yours.
Well, some of it that has something to do with the dementia, but to me, what criminalizing a medical condition that he doesn't have any control over?
They're not criminalizing the medical condition, they're criminalizing his behavior.
That stems from it.
How many mentally ill people are out there committing crimes? Yes, we don't treat the illness. We don't treat the illness. We treat the after effects. There's no money in being mentally ill and not hurting anybody.
I'm sorry. You know what? The mental health system in this country is a joke. There's no funding behind it.
Why do you think we have a homeless problem? These people, it's not as much a money problem as it is a health problem. We don't have facilities. Every time they try to put up a tiny home community for these people, somebody passes something and says, no, they can't live like that. Right, okay, let's let them all live on the street. Well, we can do this, we can do that. We can get up out there. Nobody ever does it.
Yeah, we don't want that in our backyard. That's the...
Right. They need help, but not this kind of help. So we'll take away the only roof they have over their head, so they can get help down the road if hopefully they don't die first. Everything's down the road. But take away what little they have right now. They go down and do these sweeps where they take their possessions and literally throw them in garbage trucks. Their whole worldly possessions are in a... They pass laws that you cannot have possessions that hang over a shopping cart. All of your possessions must be contained within that shopping cart. No blankets hanging over the edges, nothing hanging off the bottom. This is for homeless people. They're gonna, tell them how many possessions you can carry on your frickin' back.
Oh yeah, going back to dementia guy. So he got sent back to Anne Klein, and to me, what kind of treatment can they give to this guy? It's like he has dementia. He's never gonna get better. So I mean, to me, if he has family that cares about him, let the family gain guardianship of him and let him. Like I said, I don't know the backdrop of this story.
You're not medically equipped to take care of somebody with dementia. What if they're raising a family? Is that fair to a family? To and I'm not saying this is if what kind of relation he is. You say his son was there.
But
his son is not capable of taking care of him.
Hold on, but within the court testimony, it stated that the family needs help to get guardianship of him.
Right. They need help, which means
no, what the process and all that stuff is.
What the what?
What's the legal process? They need they don't. What's the legal to get to?
Hire a lawyer. That's the legal process. You hire a lawyer. And if they don't have the money to do that, then I question whether or not they have the money or the resources to take care of that man in a environment that is for his welfare and benefit.
And I'm gonna be honest. Being the caregiver for an Alzheimer's patient or dementia patient is a 30. Yes, there's 24 hours in a day, but technically, if you're taking care of an Alzheimer's, it's a 36-hour day.
Exactly. If they sleep that long and you sleep on the same schedule.
Correct.
So you're basically on a 24/7 job, just like you would be if you had an infant. They're not part-time jobs. We don't have the qualified people to be one-on-one with every dementia patient in this country. We never will, so we warehouse them and medicate them. Give them coloring books.
And I do have to say, my family member who had Alzheimer's or dementia, she got the best care ever.
That's because she was receptive to it. I also had an aunt who had what's called sundowner syndrome. And that's a form of dementia. It's a cursory to dementia, but it's literally what it says. When the sun goes down, their whole demeanor changes. They can become violent. They can become nasty. They start throwing things. They will fight people that are trying to help them. It all depends on what you've been diagnosed with. You have to be monitored to see what your habits are, to see if you have napping points or, it's not just a simple babysitting job. I mean, I had a relative who was taking care of somebody, and he was literally peeing in the corner of his room and defecating and smearing it on his rooms, and this is in a home. This is in a home. They would serve him his dinner, and he would throw it across the room. What do you do in a situation like that, where you have a caregiver, and he has his own private room, his own TV, all the comforts of home, but he's abusing the people that are taking care of him. It got to the point where the caregiver said, I can no longer do this. The man could overpower me, and I feel that I'm in danger with him alone. I mean, there's just so many stages and so many, every dementia case is not the same.
Correct, I agree with you. Each case is different.
This family could get guardianship, and the man could, not be happy there. You're lucky that your relative, and it's comforting to the people. I'm sure it was comforting to you and your family to know that this was the care you were able to give this relative. Can you imagine the heartache of relatives having to see the relatives go through this and know that there's nothing they can do financially to help? Yes, they can be there emotionally. What does that do for the person? They don't even know who you are half the time.
Hey, Hiram, What do you know about the Kroll status in the state of New Jersey?
I mean, we see these stories of daycare employees sedating children just to quiet them down and so they don't have to pay as much attention to them. What do you think they do to people in nursing homes? And that goes by a shift to shift. You could have the greatest nurse one shift who treats you like a king, is your best friend, and a nurse from another shift for some reason might have a bug and, you know, slip something into your food or something. You're at the mercy of everybody around you. How scary must that be for some of these people? I knew a relative who was giving the nurses, unfortunately, she was racist. And the facility she was at had a lot of African Americans working there. She made her opinion known. Well, guess who got a 10 o'clock cold shower?
Hold on, Cindy. Hear him. But this guy is found not competent. There wasn't a trial. No nothing. No anything. The court deemed him incompetent to even to face the charges in the first place.
Right. So they just take possession of him. They don't know, you know, we'll stick him in a hospital, we'll do a site. They gotta cross all their T's and dot all their I's. They have to go through the legal process of taking possession of this man.
So he was deemed incompetent.
And they will also, once he's in state care, they will also probably take possession of all of his finances if he has any. And the family will just be cut out of the process.
Hey, here, tell me about the Gerald Sayers case.
I mean, back in the day, Jen, this having people committed. I mean, this man truly has dementia.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, husbands with the approval of a doctor could have their wives committed. This is how men got rid of their wives, is have them committed by the state. You could pay different people off and get the right doctor to sign off on it. And if you had enough money, you know, you just made your wife out to be the crazy one and you just get her put away. I mean, they're still looking for the wife of the head of the Church of Scientology who's been missing for 8 or 10 years that, you know, got disappeared somewhere because she was a little too vocal about things.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, it's public knowledge. But, I mean, people disappear, John. Money can buy anything.
Here, was Jared Sarah's, was, hold on, was Jared, was he ruled incompetent to face trial? I still want to know how did this guy got access to his shotgun?
You know what, Jen? Access to a shotgun, was it sitting in a corner? Did it pick it up and aim it at somebody? You know, how much of the story do we even have?
That's what I mean. I would like to get the details.
Hiram, you say just run for it. There was an interesting, I think it was a pretty short-lived series, reality series on TV, where they gave contestants X amount of cash, and they had to reach a certain destination, I think it was, undetected. And if you got to your destination undetected, you got a certain amount of money. Obviously, you couldn't use any ATMs, no mobile phones, no nothing. I don't remember seeing one person make it to the end. There is so much information out there how to track someone, and so many cameras out there that running for it in this day and age is not really an option unless you just plan on climbing in a hole like Bin Laden and, hanging out there, because if you're going to be on the surface of this earth, you're going to be detected somewhere.
I'm looking up Jared Sarah's right now.
At Jared Sayers,
Yeah.
that's a local New Jersey case.
Yeah.
Well, look at David Hinckley, who shot Reagan.
Oh, John.
John Hinckley.
Yeah.
Didn't he just get released?
Within the last couple of years, yes.
Yeah, he got released to his mother's care or something.
I don't know all the.
You know what? I think his mother might have died since he's been released too, if I'm not mistaken. So he might be out on his own now. I don't know if they'd make him find another caretaker, guardian or not.
He doesn't have a guardian.
Who? John Hinckley?
Yes, he doesn't have a guardian.
I think he was released and went to live with his mom. Did his mom die?
I don't know.
Well, Google him next after Jared. Tell me about Jared.
Hold on.
Okay. Am I being bossy?
No.
I'm waiting for another computer, and then I can multitask. Right now, I've just got my phone, and so I'm live streaming you, so I can keep track of the conversation.
Okay, I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
And this is for Jared?
Yeah.
Hi, Frederick. Welcome. We're just chit-chatting about dementia, about,
There's a link about Jared.
Okay, I'm still on the phone, but I'm going away from the chat for a minute.
Okay. Frederick Douglass, no, you cannot put my name down. In July, reports by.
He's incompetent, but he pleaded guilty. Oh, no, wait. In July, it showed Sayers was competent, and then he pled guilty. So he sat in a mental hospital for 20 years. They bring him out of the hospital. He pleads guilty, and they sentence him to 35 years. Is that the quick synopsis?
I'm just like, hold on. I'm just.
All right. You tell me when you're done. And
this article is from 2012.
oh, that's not much after that. Yeah, go ahead, Frederick. Go ahead, Ray Rin. You can use the recognition.
Hey, Hiram, according to the article that yes, he was deemed incompetent, but then in 2012 he was deemed competent.
Okay, so did I get it right, Jen?
Yes, you're right.
He spent 20 years in jail.
No.
20 years in a psych hospital. Then they deemed him competent. He comes out. He pleads guilty to the murder, and then they sentence him to 35 years in prison.
Correct.
Okay. That doesn't seem right. It seems like his sentence was 20 years in the mental hospital. I didn't know that they could, decide you competent at some time and then just say, okay, we're gonna go this route now. He was probably becoming too aware in the hospital, so they had to put him in jail.
Hold on. Here's a brief thing. A murder suspect from over 20 years ago was sentenced to 35 years in jail. The Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office reports that Jared Sayers of Egg Harbor Township was just recently deemed competent to stand trial. Sayers was accused of a murder that took place in 1991 at the Zeus Sporting Goods. Walter Lee, a store employee, was shot and killed. Sayers was only 15 at the time. Sayers pled guilty on August 8th to the charge of first-degree murder.
Who are you talking to, Hiram, about what opinion? That's all we're doing here is making opinions.
You hear him. According to the media reports, he went to prison. They never mentioned any sort of a prison psych hospital. Right now, I don't have any opinion of Jared. I'm just going off of media reports. What I found on the computer. But here, in what year? I want to know what year. Was this before 2012 or after 2012?
Whoever said that he wasn't a mean guy? If he killed somebody, he's a mean guy.
Okay. See, that was before 2012. Okay.
And where were you around him, Hiram, when he was in the state facility or in jail, in prison? Did they take him from a state psychiatric facility and then move him to a prison facility?
Because
after he pled guilty to the murder?
Because here, in 2012, he was deemed competent to stand trial, and he pleaded guilty to it. So he's in jail right now.
Well, that's 7 years after you were with him, Hiram.
Now I'm looking for John Hinckley.
Yeah, I want to say that he was released and he went with his mother, but his mother has since died. And we're talking all in the last couple years.
John. Like I said, this is a Wikipedia thing, so.
Well, that's, it's not a controversial issue, so it's probably pretty accurate. If there's a lot of opinion involved, then you might get some conflicting, or some.
I did a little research. Like a couple of years ago, I did like a little research into John Hinckley Jr. So I don't really know like what's going on with him at this point.
Well, I didn't pay attention until I heard that he was up for release, and of course there were people that were there at his hearing or whatever, and I'm reading Hiram's thing here, but it was my understanding that they released him.
Yes, he was released from institutional psychiatric care on September 10th, 2016, and lives with his mother. But again, she does not have guardianship of him either.
All right, look up John Hinckley's mother's death. See if you just Google that and see if it says anything. Hey, Bullet. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're feeling good.
Hold on, I'm like looking through stuff.
Good to hear, Bob. I'm a lurker in your live streams. I'm usually lurking everywhere, Bob. Everywhere and anywhere. You probably recognize my name. I'll put it on the screen here.
Well, according to what I found, that I think his mother is still alive at this point.
Okay.
But don't take my word for it. I'm just. People, you need to do your own research.
Okay.
I always encourage that because. Okay, on July 27th, 2016, a federal judge ruled that Hinckley would be allowed to be released from St. Elizabeth on August 5th, as he was no longer considered a threat to himself or others. The pivotal conditions of his release are that he has no contact with the Reagan family, the Brady family, Jodie Foster, or Foster's family or agent. He will live with his 90-year-old mother and be restricted to a 50-mile zone around her home in Williamsburg, Virginia. Hinckley was released from institutional psychiatric care on September 10th, 2016, and will live full time at his mother's house. As part of his release, he is excluded from using alcohol, possession any firearms, ammunition, and other weaponry, from any access to printed or online pornography, compact discs, or online access to violent music, speaking to the press, has to work at least 3 days a week, can drive no more than 30 miles from his mother's house or 50 miles if attended, and must see a psychiatrist twice a month. His internet use is subject to limitations and scrutiny. Is not allowed to erase his computer's web browser history. Although the court ordered a risk assessment to be completed within 18 months of his release, it has not been done. So, I mean, like I said, I think his mother is still alive, but I could be totally wrong on that. His mother is alive, but I could be totally wrong on that.
He also has two older siblings. So if his mother were to pass away, there are two other siblings that might. I'm just looking to see. August 21st of 2018, his mother was still. Yeah, but at 90 years old.
Is she still alive?
I don't see anything saying she's not.
Okay. That's what I saw too.
That's
of
18 of this year, August 18th.
Yes.
It's of 18. I'm not seeing anything that she has passed.
Yes, Hiram, you are so correct. He is under the close watch of the United States Secret Service.
Yes, I bet. Actually, I think he's got some pretty lenient restrictions there.
I don't think so.
Oh, I do. 50-mile radius. I mean, you know, and I'm sure he can get a court order to leave that area if he wanted to. But you know, the other thing is with his reputation, you know, he might not be safe in public.
Yeah, I'd be concerned some lunatic will try to take him out.
Exactly. If nothing else, just for the thinking it might get him some credibility, you know. I mean, you know how people think. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have people staked out, you know, have a perimeter set up around his house that we're paying for.
Hiram, what does the Secret Service, or what does it have to do with I-1710 or steal real money in order? What does that have?
I don't know. It sounds to me like they do, but he's trying to make it sound like, no, not them.
No, he's talking about, no, the Secret Service does not go the wrong way on I-710 or steal real money in order to buy fake money. I'm confused. And
I believe him. I believe the Secret Service would go the wrong way on I-710 and steal money in order to buy fake money. There you go, To Live and Die in L.A. There's your movie.
Okay.
No, we saw it in a movie. We know it's got to be true. And I'm the belief, if anybody can write it, can imagine it, can draw it, no matter how, I mean, look at Da Vinci. Look at his drawings, and we still use them today. I believe if it can be imagined, it will come to fruition at some point in time. It has the ability to come, I mean, the Star Wars, you know, Starship Enterprise. Somebody's thinking it will come to fruition one day.
Do you know in the state of California they have a I'm gonna call it a mental health, some psych place for for sex offenders. I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna look for that.
Oh yeah, they have a lot of sex violator prisons where they keep them all together.
No, this is for mental health. They get civilly committed. So I never seen any other state besides California.
You guys have one of these big mental health or no addiction centers out there. One of these franchise ones. Something of America that was indicted for basically taking people's money, not giving them the help they wanted, actually giving these people drugs when they're in a facility for drug addiction. But it was one of these big, well-known drug addiction centers.
Not sure.
No, it was out on the East Coast there.
Oh man. Oh, mental health hospital. And this video was done by some I think from some media company in Britain.
Have you ever seen any videos on those Secret Service guys or those bodyguard driving videos where they learn to drive these, limos backwards and do 360s with them and
No, I can't.
I should say.
No, I can't find the. You're right. They do have from what I can found in states they do have a different. No, it's like they did like a documentary in this place.
It was a place just off for sex offenders, right?
Yeah, it's like.
Well, I know they have like group homes, they have prisons just for sex offenders where they try and keep them all in one prison. I don't know if that's state by state. I know there's a big one out on the West Coast there because I did see that documentary.
Mental health hospital.
But yeah, I would think they would have to keep sexual predators out of the general population.
Why how come I can't find Yeah, because it's from the one. Oh, I feel frustrated. Because it was in the state of California. That's.
And what are you looking for? A prison or a facility or what?
Yeah, it's sex offender psych hospital.
Okay, just Google California sex offender psych hospital.
Yeah, but I found it on Google because I watch a lot of documentaries on YouTube.
Yeah, did you find it?
No. I think it's a BBC. That's the name of the TV is BBC.
Yeah, that's British broadcasting.
Yeah. With that one guy.
Alistair Cook.
I don't know. BBC documentary.
American Sexual Predator Prison or something like that. going live later, Bob? It's burned down. Good. Good, Bob. I'll try and be there. Oh, 3 hours or so? Yeah, I should be there. I like when you go late at night when everybody else is sleeping and I got someplace to go late at night.
California. Everything is on the fly.
Multitasking, Jen, multitasking.
Yeah. Okay, this is driving me nuts. Mental health hospital. Yeah, I can't find it.
All right, Jen. I thought I heard you saying something about that last night, Bob. What was that about again?
Okay, I found everything else except what I want. Mental health.
Oh, wow, double homicide.
I'm gonna put
I live in a pretty rural area, and it surprises me how many elderly couple that they find murdered in their homes where I suppose that enough people knew about them that they were probably just unable to defend themselves, or people thought they had money or something, but these elderly people out in the middle of nowhere are really vulnerable to these drug addicts and stuff that are running around. They can hit an elderly home and be out of there, and somebody might not find them for days. Left you for dead, Bob. What do you mean?
I found it.
Good for you, Jim. Persistence.
It's the person is Lewis. He's the one who does or I don't know what you call him.
Up, Bob?
Lewis Thorax. I found it. Yes, I'm so happy.
Okay, and this is a facility in California?
Yeah.
Jen.
Yeah.
Which one are you watching?
The one that I put the link in. The link, I put the one in the chat.
Is that the one about the facility?
Yeah.
Okay, now that you got a location, can we put Bob's video up where the 50 cops was around his house? He said they left him for dead. He was basically under military law for 2 days here.
I want to stay within the topic for tonight, and this is sort of within the topic.
All right, Bob, I'll go check your videos when I'm done here.
Yeah. So, well, I'm gonna end this. It's 9:36 p.m. So before I end this, what's your thoughts? What's your ending thoughts on this, Cindy?
My ending thoughts are that this elderly man has obviously hit a heartstring, a chord in you. And I think it would be a good story to see if you could pursue it. And if nothing else, just to do a story on how some people end up in the system. Find out the facts, and then we can talk about what angle you want to take.
And I have to reach out to some fellow some fellow journalists within the area to see how can I get access to court documents and stuff like that. Because I know there's some things when it comes to state hospitals you can't get access to because of the privacy issue. So I have to. You
should be able to get his police record.
Yeah, the CAD report. Yeah.
You should be able to.
And it happened in May.
Interview with. Do you remember his son's name?
No, the name was never mentioned.
Right. I didn't hear it either.
So
you never put it on. You never.
I never wrote it in my notes. Yeah, I know it happened in May of this year. So.
Yeah, maybe you could pull a police report or something, and maybe you can reach out to the son and see if he would do an interview with you to get some background history. Obviously, the gentleman isn't going to be. It doesn't sound like he's going to be
going anywhere soon.
Huh?
He's not going anywhere soon.
No, but I don't think that you could expect an interview, even if you went to visit this man. You probably couldn't take what he said because of his incapacitation, but if you got some background history from the son or something, you could pull a whole story together, you know what I mean?
Yes, because it just doesn't make sense. How can if the proper, I want to know, what's the backstory? What got to this point? It's
Sure, it's a sad story, and it happens tens of thousands of times a day, Jen. This is what's available.
We talk about
if he wasn't tangled up in the law, and he didn't have any family, where would he go? These are the people that end up on the streets.
I mean, we're talking about a man with dementia, 75, 80. I know he was old, so I.
Then they find these people curled up under bushes, where they just have laid down and died like an old sick dog. It's pathetic.
Okay. Any more? Does anybody else have anything to say within the chat before I sign off for the night?
Nope, Jen. I think you've been doing a great. Well, never mind. Yes, Jen. I think you've been doing a great job, and I think that the truth has come out about your court cases, and
Eventually.
The predictions that we were hearing rumored about obviously haven't come true. Your PTI hasn't been revoked. You're not in jail. You haven't lost your apartment. You still have your job. You know, all the doom and gloom that was being predicted a month ago or so hasn't come to fruition. So I think you're taking care of business. You've still been out doing your audit. No, I'm sorry, I know you don't like them called audit. You've still been out practicing your journalism, and I think you've been proving the haters wrong.
Hell yeah! Like I said,
right.
you can't count me down because of what you hear in rumors.
That's right.
You can't. It's like it's.
Well, truth always comes out, Jen. Truth always comes out.
Eventually, the truth will come out one way or another, but
Yeah.
positive, negative, or all in between.
Guess what? She did it all with her clothes on.
Oh yeah, that charge got fixed within the computer system too. So please, so whoever thought I got charged with unrobing within public, that charge is not there anymore because it was a complete mistake. So
Yep.
please.
Did it all with her clothes on, people. So you don't have to worry.
So like I said, all you haters. I mean, I want to say something sarcastic, but I can't.
Nah, just leave it. But,
Yeah.
Hey, I'm proud of you, Jen.
Thanks.
They tried to knock you off the horse, and you're still riding. So, giddy up and go.
Yeehaw! Okay, this is Jen Coombs and Cindy from Jen Coombs from Time to Change Jersey Style, and this is Cindy from
Everywhere and anywhere.
Okay. I will see everybody on the flip side. Be safe, everybody. Be safe.
Night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.